Hey you guys, thanks for clicking on the video. I'm going to try to make this one a quick one, but we're going to get into it here for a few minutes. And as I usually let you guys know, my videos for educational purposes only. Spreading awareness, perspective, experience. I can't be responsible for what happens outside the video. But I do want to get into this for just a little bit. I want to talk to you guys about, what's making it hard for a lot of folks in relationships. I want to get into relationships for a second here. And some of my thoughts on what's making it really hard for couples, for men, for women. We hear this stuff all the time. Men want this and women want that. And so much generalizing going on. All women want this and all women want that. And all men should do this and a real man does that. And yah. The feminine, the masculine. And don't let me step on any toes here, okay? That can be whatever y'all want it to be. I'm kind of specifically referring to heterosexual couples in this, okay? And those particular roles, but it can be whatever the hell you guys want it to be. I'm not trying to go there. But the people making it really hard, we hear this stuff all the time, though. If women would just do this, and women just want that, and a man wants a soft woman, a feminine woman, a woman to be there to rub his back and to nurture. I don't have a problem with that. I can be that all day long, baby. Love it. Love it. Except, for some reason, I was attracting men that were scared of it. That had not had that in their life. And let me tell you something. When you attract somebody that has not had real love in their life before, that has not had real nurturing, real connection, they are going to act like a scalded cat. Okay, now this is going some whole other place. So I see a lot of these theories and podcasts and videos and creators and people talking about relationships and what men want and what women want. But I think there's a lot of generalizing going on there. Not all women are the same and not all men are the same. I'm sorry. There are similar patterns. We do similar things. But we're all completely different. We've all had different backgrounds, upbringings, brain chemistry. All of that matters. And I think what a lot of these people are failing to break down when looking at the difficulties that some men and women have in relationships, I think that they are not including people's addictions, levels of emotional maturity when they get together with somebody, levels of emotional intelligence when they get together with somebody, and their pathology, their wiring, their undiagnosed childhood traumas, undiagnosed shit from their past. That's where it's at, okay? These are the people that are making it hard for everyone. These people running around with undiagnosed mental illnesses, undiagnosed personality disorders, things from their childhood that they are covering up, that they have tried to forget about, that they have possibly been self-medicating all those years, using drugs, using alcohol. Their emotional intelligence has not developed all the way. Their emotional maturity has not developed all the way. Yet, they are out here trying to get into serious relationships and think that they can make that work in an adult partnership when they have an arrested development, when they are not all the way grown, so to speak. And it is shocking to find that there are a lot of 40 and 50-year-old people that have an arrested development like that have not grown all the way when it comes to empathy, love, compassion, understanding the opposite sex, communication skills, coping skills. That whole department in their brain that governs all of that has not grown, has not developed right, okay? for whatever reason, whether it was trauma in their childhood, whether it was something genetic that they inherited. This is going on, guys. And a lot of creators, a lot of people are kind of failing to bring this up. They're saying, well, if women would just do this and if men would just do that, and they all want this and they all want that, that's all good and fine. You know, but what I'm trying to tell you is every different woman different women at different ages are going to want different things, and so are different men at different ages. Like a woman at my age, I'm not going to be wanting or looking for the same. I'm not looking for anything, but I'm not going to be in the same zone as a woman of 20 who hasn't had children yet, who hasn't been married yet. I've done those things. So for me, I'm on a different wavelength with what I might want in a man or a partner for my life, okay? A completely different wavelength. And I just feel like it's worth thinking about, okay? Teal Swan has said this before, and it's so true. If you're not on the same frequency with someone, the same wavelength, you're going to have a lot of problems. Too many times, couples are coming together because somebody was hot. They were attracted to one another. Something attracted them, right? Before really getting to know each other's values, each other's goals, where you come from, what you've been through, what your wiring is like, giving it some time to see how you treat other people. Observe that person in everyday situations, in a crisis. Watch what their coping skills are like. Really get to know, are they the kind of person that you really want to bond to like that? Are they the kind of person that you would like to have children with one day? Whatever position you're in with life, male or female. I've been guilty of it in my past. It's all going to depend on how you were raised, what example your parents set for you. You know, a lot of people don't think about this in everyday life. They think, hey, I'm grown. What happened when I was a kid, that's over and done with. I forgot about that. That's never going to affect my life. Yes, it will. It's coming for you. That's the first thing that's going to happen when you settle in with a new partner, someone you deeply love, get married, whatever. That's the first thing that's going to start triggering up. Wait and see. You've been okay up to this point probably because you've been hard. You've been able to keep going and, yada, yada. The minute you start feeling something for someone on that level, I think this is what happens to a lot of highly narcissistic people. That's all that is. We've got to get these huge stigmas off of narcissists. We just do. Because we're not understanding them. We are being ignorant when we do that. We're not educating ourselves properly. And it's unfair because the real abusers are getting away. They're fooling everyone. While the people that just need more medication or whatever, they're getting blamed for shit. While innocent people are getting blamed for shit. Innocent people are getting called narcissistic abusers. People are so busy wanting to hate other people that they're actually missing out on where the actual predators and narcissistic abusers are. They're so busy wanting to hate a certain type of person. Like in the Watts murder case. These people are so busy wanting to hate that young mother, hate that successful young woman. They are so busy wanting to hate a certain type of person that the real predator is being overlooked and excused. That's wrong. It's making it harder for everybody. It's making it harder for relationships. It's making it harder for everybody, you guys. And so, it is. It's very important that people take more time to get to know each other. Stop assuming. That's the problem in so many relationships, and I was guilty in the past. Growing up like I did, not having the proper examples, having to go to therapy and learn all this stuff on my own, codependency issues, I was guilty of it. Just jumping into things sometimes and thinking, oh, I really like this person. I really like their energy. And assuming that they were going to have the same values as me, that they were going to want the same things as me. Oh, it'll all work out. It'll fall into place. It'll come around. No, it won't. Biggest mistake you could ever make. Stop getting so overzealous to be serious with somebody. Take your time. Enjoy your life. Stay in your lane. Get to know that person over a long period of time. Because that's a lot of the problem right there. I'm sorry, but women are not going to just fit into any box. All women should do this so that men should be happy. And men are not going to do it either. All men should fit into this little box right here so that all women could be happy. Not going to happen. But what we can do is guard ourselves, take our time, love ourselves. We can learn to become those things that we desperately want in someone else. And when the right frequency comes into our life, we will know it. We can guard ourselves from all those other frequencies that aren't right for us. Stop trying to force people to be what you want. That's what's making it harder for every couple. For good people out there that want to treat someone right, that want to learn and grow in a relationship, are these people that are lacking in emotional intelligence, lacking in emotional maturity. They have personality disorders. They have mental illnesses. They have substance abuse disorders. They have all kinds of childhood traumas. They have all kinds of things going on that they're not taking responsibility for. They're just running to get in a relationship, and that's going to solve everything. That's going to take all their pain away. And it doesn't. How dare you? How dare you come into a relationship with those secretive, unfair fucking plans and agendas for me? For anybody. How dare you go into a relationship with that planned in your head? That they're gonna make everything all better? Are you kidding me? You make it better before you go and get in a relationship. But yeah, I see it everywhere. Men want a soft woman. They want a feminine woman. They want an approachable woman, and vice versa. Women want this in a man, and they want that in a man, and this in a man. But what about the women and men who don't meet that criteria? What about the men and women who are just kind of off the beaten path of that a little bit? Does that mean nobody wants them? Okay, it's because fuck these generalizations. It's not true. Every man and every woman are different, and it's going to depend on the individuals involved, okay? I don't feel like all men are supposed to be the same or all women are supposed to be the same. Do I think there's a certain basic level of respect and self-awareness that all humans should have and carry? Absolutely. But I don't expect all men to be the same across the board, nor do I expect all women to be the same across the board. I think whatever makes that relationship work, whatever works for the two of those people, if it's beautiful and healthy and it makes them happy and it makes their life better, I don't really care if they're coming out the door wiping their ass every day. Whatever it is that works for the two of them, that does not feel disrespectful to the other one, doesn't make the other one's life hell, they're just cool with it. I don't care if it's the man who washes the clothes and the woman who goes to work. I don't care if it's vice versa. As long as each equal party feel loved, feel respected, feel like it's enough. And it may not look like enough to society. It may not look like enough to your neighbor or someone in a different relationship. Might not look like enough at all. As long as it's enough to you. And nobody can tell you that. Man, that man don't do enough for you. I'd be having him doing this, this, and this, and this. He'd be paying that, that, and that. Man, that woman ain't doing enough for you. I'd be having her doing this and doing that and doing that. The man's like, hey, man. Yeah, I work hard all day. She's going to school. She's getting her degree. I support that. I'm there for that. And in return, she does this, this, and this for me. It's going to be on what you two decide that's best for you. And you don't need to listen to your fucking friends. A lot of times your friends, your homies, male or female, they're not filling your head with what's appropriate. A lot of times. Now, sometimes you got good people. I understand that. But a lot of times these so-called friends, they're not wanting to see you happy with a partner. They're not wanting to see that partnership learn and grow and make it to the next level. They're jealous. You're always at home with them. You're always doing this for them. You're never with me anymore. Your single ass, jealous ass friends will do some shit like that sometimes. So watch out for that. But I say, it's not all women need to be this or all women need to be that. To me, that kind of thinking is archaic and unnecessary. Now, as a woman myself, I'm still pretty traditional of what traditional would be in society's eyes. I grew up in an era, my father had me cooking and cleaning and doing laundry, and I've always been that type of woman. I enjoy doing that to a certain degree, as long as it's appreciated and valued. But I don't think that that's what defines women. I don't feel like if you don't like to cook, clean, and serve, say you're a busy career woman, you're a physician or a rocket scientist or whatever the case, I don't see any problem with that, and I don't think it makes you any less of a woman. You chose not to have children. You chose not to get married. You have a high-powered career. I don't think it makes you any less of a beautiful, feminine, if that's what you want to feel like. I don't think it makes you any less of a person. That you don't cook, you don't clean, you don't do this, that. Just like for a man. I don't view you as any less of a man if you come home and do laundry and cook food and take care of your kids or your pets or, do things that might be considered feminine work. I don't consider you any less of a man. That's not the way I look at it. Like the movie Meet the Fockers. Remember that? Barbara Streisand and Dustin Hoffman. Beautiful couple that I admired so much. They did not have traditional roles. Apparently, Dustin Hoffman had been an attorney for many years and retired, and the woman, she had a successful business as a sex therapist or whatever, and apparently they were talking in that movie about how she had been the breadwinner for many years and she had bought that house. This couple is a lifelong couple, and you could see the love. You could see the beauty. I know this is a fictional couple, but I'm just pointing out something here. You could see the love and genuine friendship that married couple had. They didn't give a fuck. It wasn't about, well, my man's got to be da, do, da, ba, be, ba, bo, ba, boo, ba. He's got to meet all this criteria. He's got to make sure he work every day, and he's doing this every day, and he's bringing home this every day. And it wasn't about, well, my woman, she better be in that kitchen. She better be doing this. She better be cooking it up and cleaning it up. I don't even think that woman could cook in that movie. You see what I'm saying, though? And that was the most beautiful, loving couple. I always think about them. They laughed. They played. They were friends. They were affectionate. I know another real life couple like that. A real life love story like that. Now that's love. I'm sick of the other shit. That it has to fit into a certain fucking criteria to be a good woman or to be a good man. No. It's going to be whatever those two energies feel is best for them. Okay? That's it. That is it. And it's going to be, do they have the emotional intelligence, the emotional maturity to actually love each other, to actually accept each other where they're at for who they are, and to be aware of not stepping on each other, not hurting each other. I love that. That requires intelligence. It just does, guys. And looking back at my own past and my own heartaches, which is a lot of the reason why I make these videos in the first place, I did make a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes. I attracted people that made mistakes. And I tried desperately to learn and grow and work those things out with certain people. And it just wasn't happening because of exactly what I'm telling you. I was trying to do that with people who were not on the same frequency as me. They were not on the same wavelength as me. I was trying to fit certain things in, and you just can't do that. It's going to lead to heartache. You have to let them go. But you cannot blame all men for that. And you can't blame all women for it. Just because I had a heartache with my last partner, a devastating heartache blow, I am not going to go forward in the future and go, well, I'm done with men because of that. Or that's what all men act like. All men want this and they all want that and they all act like. No. Did I attract a pattern of a certain type of man for a while? Yes, I did. Can you do that? Yes, you can. But that's when you need to check yourself. If you're attracting the same woman over and over again, that treats you like a bitch, that cheats on you, lies to you, emotionally unavailable, or if you're attracting the same man over and over again, as I was, similar patterns in those men over and over again. Can there be patterns of people come into your life? Yes. Are they the same man? No. Very unique differences, okay, my friends? Very different people all the way around. But were they carrying a similar pattern? Yes, they were. Did it hurt me exactly the same way? Yes, it did. That is something you need to look at inside of you. That's you. I'm not saying they have the right to abuse you, hurt you, mistreat you, but you got a problem. Just like I had a problem. I needed to look at what I was attracting. What was it I was attracted to about it? I see it every day. I see it every day. These females and these men running out here, running away from a good woman, running away from a good man. Run into the arms of toxic folks. Ooh, toxic is attractive, isn't it? Shit, mine's out there right now, my ex, getting him a taste of that toxic. Yeah, getting him a taste of that running the streets and emotionally unavailable females and, attracting to certain types of females, thinking he's going to fit them into housewife criteria, thinking he's going to fit them into loving, devoted, loyal partner criteria. Men and women do this sometimes. You want to know why? It's all going to depend on your emotional intelligence. It's going to depend on your maturity in your brain, your emotional maturity. Are you 13 in the mind when you're dating? I feel like a teenager. Some of that's normal, but you get what I'm saying. It's all going to depend on how developed their brain is and those core wounds. If you do not have your core wounds healed, if you're still running around full of childhood wounds, abuse and abandonment issues, issues with your parents, forget about a relationship because you're going to screw it up. You're going to chase after the wrong people. You're still trying to chase mommy and daddy, stepmommy, stepdaddy, early caretakers, and you're still trying to get those people to see you, to validate you, to love you, to fill you up, to love you like a parent should have. Stop trying to get your fucking partners to do it. I lived through this for years. I did it myself, had to go to therapy a lot, and I've had other people do it to me. And once they found out I wasn't going to be super toxic, and I wasn't going to play the game of treating them like shit like their parents did, or their step-parent did, I wasn't going to play that fucking chaotic game of continuing to play out their trauma, because that's what we will do. We're unawake, unaware, and if you're trained, you can sit back watching people doing it. They will keep chasing their trauma over and over. Hey, toxic lady, will you abuse me and abandon me and cheat on me? I love you. You're a challenge. I love you. I want to see if I can get you to love me. And then when you do, I'm going to be bored with it and I'm going to run the other direction. I know all about toxic people. I know all about pathological thinking. Emotionally dysregulated fucking people are making it hard for everyone. In relationships, they just are. That's what they are. Emotionally dysregulated individuals are making it fucked up for everybody in relationships. That's why when I hear, well, a man wants this and a woman wants that, and they want this and they want that, I just start going, what the fuck? I have literally had men in my life in the past. It just didn't matter. And I'm hoping those days are over, but I attracted a lot of emotional dysregulation. Because of my own unhealed wounds, they can smell that. And, oh, this last one, it hurt so bad to admit it. I did not want to admit it for nothing in the world that this one was toxic. I was going to have to let them go. That they were going to be one of those people that were still unhealed and attracted back to the girls that would treat them like crap. And I'll do a part 2 to this. To understand that trauma brain, you need to have some really deep insight, okay? It's not that he wants to be abused. It's not that he wants to be mistreated. It's not that he likes it. Just like a lot of dudes say about women. She likes the abuse. She wants an asshole. She wants to be treated like shit. Why did they run back to this one? Why did they run back to that one? Look. Humans have certain attractions, okay? We can't explain it all. We cannot explain why that brain kicks off and becomes bored with one partner and excited with another partner that ends up treating them like shit when they had a good partner at home. We can't explain all that. But a lot of times there's unhealed trauma there. And the partner at home isn't going to play into that anymore. And they have to keep looking for that trauma over and over again because they are refusing to heal it. Or they haven't been trained on how to heal it and work on it, okay? That could be part of it. And a lot of it has to just do with biology, like our wiring as a species. Our brains are wired to look for the threat all the time. That's, we're evolving out of a lot of that, but we are wired that way. And when things are too comfortable, there are some people, I've really observed this, okay? I've really put some time and thought into it. Why do some people fuck up a good thing when it's comfortable, it's loving, it's safe, it's normal? Other than the fact that person may have had childhood trauma, unresolved, yada yada, that's to be expected. They're going to act a certain way. But why do some other people fuck it up? When everything's comfortable, normal, I went through it as a younger person too, craving chaos, but that was trauma. But outside of trauma, why do some people want to fuck up everyday normal people that haven't been through trauma? Why did they get bored with a calm, quiet, orderly, safe, loving existence, especially at 40 years old? 40, 50 years old. Why are you throwing that away to go run the streets and do dope and drugs and alcohol and be a teenager again and chase something that's unsafe? They will go chase that person that's unsafe, that's going to cheat, lie, steal, and throw away a very good, loving partner. Well, I think there are many, many explanations to that, depending on that person's brain. And I get to thinking about it a lot. Our genetic wiring, our DNA, historically, I think a lot of people are still running around quite unevolved. I do. I think we're all on different levels, depending on how you grew up, How much trauma happened in your life? How many drugs have you done since you were like 12 and you're like 50 now? You think that hasn't had an effect on your brain development, your emotional intelligence development? How much alcohol have you been drinking for 25 or 30 years? You think that hasn't had an effect on your brain development, personality? Did you get to know yourself as a teenager and get to grow through that, or did you do drugs that whole time? Did you drink alcohol that whole time because you didn't want to feel awkward and you didn't really want to know yourself and you felt better if you were... A lot of these people, that is how they grew up, and that is why we have some very tormented, sick, emotionally abusive, pathological, middle-aged people who are not in touch with their emotions, who have no fucking idea who they are. Yeah. So, guys, I'm going to clip this one. I'll come back in a part 2. And we'll discuss some more about this. But, yeah, I do find it interesting. This happens all the time. And people wonder about it. Emotionally dysregulated people get involved in serious relationships and they make it hard for everybody. People not matching up. I've learned my lesson about it. I know my ass won't ever do it again. I will not ever get seriously involved with someone who's emotionally dysregulated, who clearly has some type of personality disorder, substance abuse disorder, refusing to get treatment for it. I will be very much more careful about watching for early signs of emotional dysregulation in a person. Watching for early signs of maturity problems. Watch for that, male or female, because that is not something you want to try and have a successful, healthy, serious partnership with. It will be impossible. Okay? And I think a lot of people are failing to mention this. They're failing to bring it up when they're generalizing. Men want this and women want that. And that's nice. But a lot of that will just fall into place if the emotional maturity is there, the emotional intelligence and regulation. If the person can regulate their own damn emotions. If they are already in touch with who they are as a man, who they are as a woman. Now, if they are out looking for you to make them feel like a woman, or out looking for you to make them feel like a man, yes, all of that stuff is loving and nice and neat, and it makes us feel all groovy inside, but you get what I'm saying. If it has gone to that overboard point where that woman doesn't feel like a woman all on her own, and he doesn't feel like a man in his own right, in his own skin, he's looking for someone to cling onto to make him feel like a man, you're in trouble. And vice versa. You're in trouble. It's going to be a fucked up situation. It takes time to learn these things. Unfortunately, it takes heartbreak.